We will see. We will see indeed. For now, the first map is
Love
going
it.
to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. Both these teams very close to 50% win rate. KT, exactly 50% win rate.
So we're basically going to continue where we last stopped at. Just another round of Tomb of the Spider Queen seems to be one of the Chinese favorites these days. Not really as popular in the other regions. I think heroes or maps like Cursed Hollow, Dragonshire are definitely more favored in the Western hemispheres, for example. But, you know, to each their own. And I'm definitely a big fan of Tomb of the Spider Queen myself because we get to see a little bit of a gazebo here, maybe.
Potentially. Last time these two teams played against each other, as we remember, China does rotate twice. This is the end of the second rotation here. Hot Lady were able to come out victorious with a 2-0. Including liberal use of the Ariel, who has made it through the draft here. The Tychus ban is very interesting from Hot Lady.
They do that every now and then, don't they? I think Hot Lady is the only team who sometimes puts a lot of focus on Tychus. We haven't really yet figured out whether it's just to have a placeholder, so they could pick stuff like Oriel, or if they're legitimately scared of Tychus.
Like, they play it. is a thing. They play it, whereas I'm looking through right now. This still hasn't been updated. Yeah, I'm not seeing KT having played it, like, ever.
Yeah, Tychus is not your go-to high-priority ranged assassin in China. There's definitely other heroes that take over that spot, like the Vala, like the Greymane. Even the mages are very, very popular. And already, Hot Lady is getting their dream scenario. Double support, Uther Oriel plus Vala. And RIP
draft. We will
Someone just
jump back into
disconnected.
that as soon as it is ready.
Yeah. I mean, it's much better if it happens now than 20 minutes into the game, right? So
Yeah. Okay, they have played Tychus, I found out. They have played him 4 times and lost with him 4 times. But apparently it's still ban-worthy.
Okay, well, I mean, if you don't want to play it, or if you can't play it yourself, you better make sure that you don't have to play against it. But yeah, I think I get the impression that it's more like a placeholder as well. So they've combined two things, right? A, they don't like the hero, and B, they make sure that they're going to get at least something else out of it as first pick.
Exactly. Just looking through statistics, because I like to do that sometimes. KT have 4 heroes with a 100% win rate. And they nearly have the makings of a composition with it as well, actually. It'll be a very melee-heavy composition. Kael'thas, Sonya, Muradin, and Varian are their 100% win rates. Only one of them.
Did I hear Varian?
Yep, only one of them with more than 1 game, and that's Kael'thas. All the rest of at least 2. All the rest of 1 game, Kael'thas 2 games.
Nice.
Not a huge amount of statistics to go with there.
Nice, nice, nice. By the way, guys, we can actually take a look at the Chinese commentators here as well. The lady on the left-hand side is not the lady that Hot Lady named themselves after. The lady is called Q here. She's a commentator, but the lady they originally named themselves after was Yu. Is that correct?
I think so.
I think she was called Yu, and she used to be a commentator for Heroes of the Storm. Unfortunately, she has retired and is no longer active in the scene. So, just a little bit of background knowledge for you guys.
Hot Lady have only 1 hero.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mid-Seasons.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, Hot Lady only have 1 hero, actually, with a 100% win rate. And that's Jaina.
Jaina, there we go. A very interesting hero. We saw her yesterday. Alongside Kael'thas, I think Jaina is probably one of the most underrated heroes in professional, because I think she offers so much. I think she can really work in a couple of team comms, especially if comboed with the Zeratul, for example. Bless you, my friend. Bless you.
Thank you. There we go. We're back in the draft, back up to where we were.
I think you just summoned it. Can you sneeze again? We're going to be in game number 2.
No.
Fast forward.
No, those hurt. I get painful sneezes, dude. That hurts. So.
All right.
Oh, dear.
What are we going to see here? So nothing changed, of course, guys. They had to execute the exact same drafting order. That includes the bans as well. So this is where we stopped, and this is what we're going to see now.
Yeah, so which support is Pommy going to be given? I would assume Ariel, with the Uther being given over to the second support player.
Oh, Oriel's picked already. Oh, yeah, you mean for Pommy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Pommy's going to play the Oriel for sure.
Yeah, Ariel, his second highest win rate support. So
like we saw that at SPT as well, that Uther oftentimes becomes the support that, you know, other players play because...
Yeah, he does damage.
Exactly. He kind of deals a little bit of damage. You have the crowd control. You need to mind your cooldowns a little bit more. So I think for like Melody C, we saw it in SPT, and Meng is very likely going to be their Uther here. He played it in the past too.
Yeah, this is very likely the case. It also helps that Pommy has a 12% win rate on Uther, so potentially not his top hero. Would you like to guess what his #1 hero is, support-wise?
Pommy?
Yep.
Ooh, in terms of win rate or?
Yep.
Oh, it has to be Morales.
It is 50% exactly. He doesn't.
I know my China, bro.
Yeah, in order: Morales, Ariel, Malfurion, Uther, Rhaegar, Karazim.
Yeah, that was an epic performance on the Morales. What happened to Morales, by the way? We even saw Brax's holdout today, and she was completely abandoned.
True, they still pick it, but it's very much seems to be a hot lady target thing. Just because Pommy is so good. Either way, though, he is not going to get it this time, as he has been given the Ariel, and I'm sure he will still be happy about this.
Okay, now what do KT need? They need potentially another frontliner. Stitches could still be a thing. Maybe Dehaka. No, Dehaka's banned, never mind. They could also go solo Arthas, though, and focus a little bit more on the supports. You could also focus on the DPS. Everything's open here for KT, and it's really hard to anticipate what they're going to pick. Maybe the Cassia. Like, if there's a time to go Cassia against the double support Vala, it's definitely now. I don't think... Is Hot Lady going to pick it themselves? Probably not, so they could even save it for later, I guess.
Be interesting. Vala and Cassia on the same team with a double support comp and just pick a super heavy tank. I'd like it. That'd be neat. A noob. The Arthur's a noob. That is tanky. And then comes Malfurion. Rhaegar ignored in exchange for the Druid.
Yeah, and I gotta say I like it so far. Now, when you pick the Malfurion early, you can basically anticipate a mage to come in, right? Because of the Innervate trade. If they went for an auto attacker right now, I don't think that would make a lot of sense. And if you think of mages against double support Oriel, there comes a feisty little gnome to your mind, doesn't it?
It really does. I don't know if KT have played the Chromie, but if they have, and if they feel comfortable doing so, it could fit in here very nicely.
Absolutely, like the long-range poke, the short map size, which means Chromie's always going to have an easier time to keep her bombardment up. I like it.
They have never played Chromie, but they have banned it once.
Okay.
Stitches and Zeratul coming in here for Hot's Lady.
I think they're expecting
fairly reasonable.
Yeah, I think they're expecting the Chromie because both Zeratul and Stitches are really good against her. You can either hook her, you can pressure with a Zeratul. Really, really solid. But what's it going to be? Maybe it was all a bluff and they're going to go for the likes of Kel'Thas. Even Kel'Thas, I would love here.
Yeah, like we said, 100% win rate for him. If they wanted to go for it, it could do some good damage to Stitches. Lunara would also be pretty solid here, but that makes you question why the Malfurion over someone like Rhaegar. In terms of mages, that could work here. Nazebo could bring that back once again.
Yeah.
Which is a decent map for him, but it is Chromie. They go for it anyway. They've not played it yet, so this is going to be their first showing.
Thing about Nazebo, like I always love me some good Nazebo. However, him as a solo ranged DPS, I'm not counting Greymane as a traditional ranged assassin, could be a little bit rough because Nazebo needs a long time to get rolling, and before that 16-20 peak, I don't think he has enough oomph behind him to really threaten the double support. So I think they basically drafted it perfectly with the Chromie here. They could have gone for the KT maybe as a variation, maybe even the Jaina, but Chromie, they definitely didn't do anything wrong with it.
No, the Chromie's fine, it's just risky. I think she has to just make liberal use of place-to-go time traps near herself, so that she can bait Zeratul into and give herself a good escape plan. And of course, the timeout or the bye-bye if you want to be a trickster.
Exactly, if you want to go full trickster mode. Trickster. Yeah. Have we ever seen bye-bye in competitive?
Yes, it was destroyed. It was terrible, but we have seen it. It wasn't good.
I mean, it certainly looks like a lot of fun if you manage to pull it off in Hero League and Team League. Especially against Tracer, I think it's actually really fun. Yeah.
I would argue there's one map that bye-bye is viable on. Would you like to guess what it is?
Rexus?
Nope. I would say that it would be Towers, because you could actually TP back to the mid lane, thanks to the tunnel.
Sweet! Here we
So
go.
that was the only one I would argue. So there we go, guys. We're heading into game number 1 of our Best of 2 series between Hot Lady, Kudos Top. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tomb of the Spider Queen. And spawning on the left-hand side is going to be Hot Lady with Y playing Valor, Pommy on the Ariel, Lias on Zeratul, Meng on Uther, and Carlo on Stitches.
And in the reds, we see their opponents, KT, Kudos Top, with T-Die on the Malfurion, Neptune on his Nubarak, Fury plays the Grey Main, C-Ink going for the Chromie, and Butcher on the main tank on Arthas. And already we see some fine adjustments coming in here in terms of level 1 talents. A Regeneration Master has been chosen for Nubarak, and as I said earlier in the last game, stacking talents, especially if they involve Regeneration Globes, can be fulfilled so quickly here if you lane properly and efficiently in the early game.
Lots of damage onto a noob, but able to stay.
Oh my
God, the
goodness!
Chromie damage. First blood on Zeratul straight away. KT with the pickup. We actually have a request. Oh, hang on. Not going to finish it yet. Roots landed. Chromie! Oh! The sandblast of sniping Pommy.
Slightly too
God.
short to really hit the Ariel here. Pommy escaping very, very barely here. And I gotta say, that triple Dragon's Breath right at the beginning combined with Howling Blast, that's a combo we're gonna have to be on the lookout for, because there's so much crowd control available for KT. The Howling Blast, the slows, the stuns from Nubarak, the roots from Malfurion. If Hot Lady doesn't play this cautiously and carefully, and they get multiple people trapped in one of those crowd control abilities, they're gonna be in a world of pain.
Yes, they are. And just quickly, someone did request an update on the Cloud Mount statistics. Angry is still in the lead, but Happy is catching up.
Happy is catching up, but Sad still cast off, I guess.
Yes, Sad is still the bottom. I don't know whether it's a mental thing or what, or whether the teams that just think they're going to lose are picking it. But there we go. Sad Cloud, still currently the lowest win rate.
Okay, good thing that Meng actually rode his Angry Cloud. Really, really solid.
Yeah, look at KT, they got the Happy Cloud, like we said.
Yeah.
If they win, they're all 4 using it. That's going to be a big old comeback for the Happy Clouds.
I can't believe you're actually keeping track of
fun.
the Mount Clouds. So sick.
It's a fun little thing. And,
Okay. Bronze Talons online. So just in case, guys, I know this is basically like a running gag at this point, but, you know, if Chromie from this point on uses her Q on minions or mercenaries or anywhere on the map, that it doesn't matter. They just want to trigger the Bronze Talents. Don't get fooled by what Twitch chat says.
Yes. As much as we really do love Twitch chat, and usually they are almost always correct, that joke comes up and people actually do believe it sometimes.
Exactly.
So it's best to explain it every now and again. It's Chromie continuing to drop those sand blasts onto Carlo, poking him down. Yeah, Bronze Talon's active, C-Ink, you can use him.
That hook just barely missed C-Ink there, but C-Ink actually positioning himself really, really well here already. Now, Pommy, that's going to be the main target they want to aim for with those Chromie abilities. Because if Oriel drops low, she doesn't really have a lot of sustained healing. She doesn't really have, you know, the sustained healing that a Malfurion brings to the table. And I would actually go as far and say that Oriel and Vala are probably the two prime targets. If the Hope Battery has a bad time, Oriel's not going to get any energy. And if Oriel takes a lot of damage herself, she's going to have to use that healing on herself rather than anyone else.
Really agreed. These are the priority targets. If you keep Valor low and in the back, she's not going to be able to gain energy for Ariel, and therefore she will stay low forever, or until Meng can get in and bring it all back. So, turning and happening here, Hot Lady getting rid of most of their gems, 30 turned in compared to the 24 of KT. Both of these teams do have over enough gems to get a full turn, and they just need to try and dance around each other to do so. Sneaky Fury picking up a camp.
Yeah, I like it, and it's really, really hard to spot these sneaky mercenary attempts as well, as long as there's only one enemy hero missing, right? It's really hard to have that overview and saying, like, hey, we haven't seen Raymond in a while. He might be doing the bottom camp. Although, when you have a hero like Lias on the Zeratul, he could have maybe scoured if he had gotten a little bit suspicious.
Yes, indeed. So, poke continuously happening here from Valor, that Hungry Garrow revealing Neptune. Not a Hungry Garrow build, unsurprisingly. This is not a mercenary heavy map, so the regular build is of course the best hope generating and the best most viable here.
Hey, you got the 16 in. Now there's another 16 at their disposal. So 43 against 46. Both teams are going to fight really, really hard for this first turn in the map. The mercenaries in the bottom. Oh my goodness, that bronze talons almost got Y on the Vala, and that was really, really close. But that alone gives KT enough momentum to actually turn in and get the first Weapy Wave. And that's why it's so important to lock down the Vala, to sniper with Chromie's abilities. Really, really well played by KT.
Yeah, just keep her low. Chromie just spamming her abilities, getting as much value out of it as possible. Just trying to get people just with random Hail Marys at this point, but it's working out. As like you said, KT with the first turn in minion waves, kind of pushed up, but not a huge amount, so where Weavers will get base value. Looks like they are actually all going to land middle, so nice defense at the lanes by Hot Sadie.
Really solid indeed. Now, an engage coming in by Neptune. He has the Under King, so he has the long range on his burrow charge, and it looks like Pommy is about to
survive.
Valor
was not. Never mind. Cocktail. And another one. 3 kills going over to KT. Yeah. Webbeaver's dead, but also potentially so is the fort.
An absolute massacre here in favor of KT. Not only did they get 3 kills at the same time, but they also caused Hostler to lose a lot of their gems. I think there were at least like 20 that they lost here in this engagement. And also, of course, the momentum they can muster here. The pushing power with the Wave Viewers destroying the middle fort already is a huge win. And that's also being reflected in the overall XP count. 10 around the corner here. And all the heroes are going to pull even with Chromie, who had it a little bit earlier. That's the power of Chromie too. Like, you can force those fights with an early slowing stance. So nicely done.
Nicely done indeed, and KT looking brilliant right now, as they're just going for kills, not even going to raid the camp here, they're just trying to kill people, as we do get a bit of stutter, but it's all good. Now they move into the camp because everyone has run out of range, so it's going to pick up that bruiser and be able to retreat.
I love how KT is rotating around the map here for now. They're trying to take everything away from the Hots ladies. Now he gets stunned, the Butcher that is, never mind. Yeah, sorry for the stuttering right now. As we said, guys, we're casting from a clean feed, so there's nothing Tetra and I can do to help you out in that sort. We're just going to hope that it stabilizes in the nick of time here in a couple of minutes.
Nothing we can do about it. We just do what we can by watching and casting and having fun. And hopefully entertaining you guys. So, Hot Lady, kind of stuck in their base at this point, as I get a big old lag circle.
Same here. Let's actually check. Maybe the lag circle was equally long for us. So I'm
15. 10, 11, but stuttering. So that might just be my FPS.
I'm sitting at 11 right now.
I'm jumping between. I'm on 14 to 15.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reload.
I am also gonna reload.
And now I'm sitting at 10.
I am at 14 still. I'm refreshing again.
And another circle.
Okay.
Yep. And immediately I get the warning from our French casters as well in the Skype group, so they're probably going to experience or experiencing these same issues.
Yes. Well, considering we're both experiencing it, it's most certainly the stream.
I'm sitting at 7.
That'll do. As we see Hot Lady getting poked down, see Ink continuing to be a pain.
Right.
Down.
So, now that we have stabilized a little bit and recollected our thoughts, we get to see another turn-in on the side of KT. Really, really cool to see that, because they could actually expand their lead even further. But Carlo is having none of it. He uses the Future Belt, gets cocooned though, and another team member dies. No VP being cast. Zeratul blown out of his socks.
Didn't even have the chance to divide shield on Valor though, allowing her to get some good straight damage off, trying to chase down T-Diver, getting zoned out by Arthas. Good detainment strike to protect Valor. The Valor Ariel composition doing a good job. Great vault to dodge the root there as they kite backwards. Ariel and Valor shredding out huge amounts of damage, but not enough to win the team fight. It's still only a 2 for 2.
Still a 2 for 2, but there's a big advantage going in favor of KT, and that are the Web Weavers. The middle one pushing strong, almost reaching the secondary tower line. Then we have the top lane, of course, being annihilated and decimated as well. And the top lane is so important because of the boss later on. Now, all team members have rejoined, have been respawning. And what is KT going to do here? Getting a little bit more cautious right now. They don't want to get caught by the Stitches hooks. Yep, there we go. Not face checking.
Stitches hooks, and they're scared of the Void Prism. They don't want anything to do with that, so they're going to back up, regroup, wait for everyone to be alive, and then choose a lane and maybe make a play on it. If not, just clearing out mid.
Yeah, that's so rough, man. Zeratul dying in that last teamfight without even getting a chance to use his VP. And I really want Zeratul to be a little bit more, you know, active. Like, instead of just getting initiated upon, try to flank from a safer angle, drop the VP, because that's really what your team needs, right? That's really what Host Lady needs. They have a lot of follow-up damage here with the Vala, and of course the Uther stuns as well, but for now, the Crystal Aegis has been dropped.
It has. The Aegis is dropped, just a little bit ahead of me, but still the armor, Meng surviving, but the body box too much as he gets taken out. Cocoon popped. Why is it full retreat? Can they save him? No, they can't.
That was so close. The helping hand already connected, but it was not enough, not in time to escape the pro meat damage. And you can see the anti-healing, by the way, provided by Malfurion's level 7 talent on the Entangling Roots, preventing Uther from getting his full healing value done here. So a really nice adjustment coming in there as well. No trend, no broccoli being picked at level 4, still going for the increased range from Eileen's Grace, but the anti-healing proving to be so efficient against double support.
Indeed. Lovely talent in general. Definitely, if you're going to lose Cleanse on a support, that's a good talent to get it replaced with. So very happy to see something like that. Chromie continuing to poke and zone with all of her abilities. As KT, once again, second or third time, I actually think, stealing that Bruiser camp.
Yeah, really. And that constant pressure in the bottom really keeps Hots Lady occupied. And that buys so much more time for KT to actually get the turn-ins done, to take more mercenary camps across the map, to rotate to top lane and getting a little bit of distance between themselves and Hots Lady. So I really, really love how KT is playing the map, going for those constant mercenary shenanigans. Look at Chromie also positioning herself in a very, very safe manner. Now Arthas helping her as well with additional body presence. And Carlos slowly but surely also takes a lot of DPS.
Yeah, he has to pop the future bile just to survive. Hook just missing Fury. Able to stay out of there. The Sowing Sands is dropped. Chromie continuing to snipe in, especially can. Zeratul though, sneaky one. Up at the top, able to turn in the gems the Hots Lady needed.
I was about to say, where is Zeratul? Why is he not pressuring the Chromie at all? But of course, we had our response very quickly. He was turning in, allowing Hots Lady to get another Web Weaver turn in themselves. Now, can they make something work with it? They have a small time window left to fight on even footing. 16 is around the corner for KT. If they unlock those talents, all their Web Weavers are going to have to be abandoned here, because I don't think they want to take a fight uphill against the talent.
Neptune hiding out for the moment, but he's beginning to potentially wrap back round to his team. Not helping with the defense. He was, I think, hoping they'd hit level 16 from something, but they weren't really soaking a huge amount, so that was not going to happen. So right now, he's just guarding the flank and preparing for a re-engage if someone steps out of position.
Exactly. So, what we're going to see here from the Hots Ladies, they still have the opportunity to hook someone, maybe. They're destroying the wall pieces for the exact same reason here. However, they're not brave enough, they're not audacious enough to really make something happen. Carlo, we criticized this in the past about him, that he doesn't really have a good time on Stitches. He doesn't really have the Wang killer instinct with those hooks. He always seems a little bit lackluster, don't you think?
A little bit, I would agree. He needs oh, Pommy, still good. Nice stun by Meng, but he's getting chased down. There's the Cocoon. And Stitches needs to get not a killer instinct, but needs a helping instinct, a helping hand, if you will, to save his ally. Root is dropped. Wow, that was all the follow-up in the world. As Uther just walks away from getting Cocoon.
Might fall though. There's a lot of blue on the minimap, and that would actually give them a nice chunk of XP to tie out the level disadvantage.
And
but I think it's gonna stay. Actually, it's gonna stay alive.
New minion wave arriving. Enough, no? Yeah, looks like it's gonna live.
Yeah,
good job, Fort. Well done. Hanging on in there. You go, Fort. You do you. As it survives for now, but. Hots Lady,
oh boy, that is really low.
Oh, okay. It has one ammo left as well, by the skin of its teeth.
True survivor Fort. Now, Thatcher, do you think it's a little bit too risky if KT forced a boss fight here against VP and such, or do you think they could do it with the 16 advantage?
I would rather they did it with a kill. I think taking a fight when everyone's alive at a boss point at any point is a terrible idea. It doesn't matter what level behind you are. It only takes one mistake or one rogue tornado to ruin your day. So, no, I definitely think they should not boss, and therefore, yes, they should absolutely do boss for our entertainment.
Absolutely. Now, once again, let's see. 3 gems is not going to be enough. Neptune still decides to pay. Now, what they could also do is they could go for mercenary camps. Grayman actually went for the bruiser camp. Noobrek, in my opinion, could maybe even try to get the bottom. But of course, if they commit too many resources on... Oh my god, that chromie damage was disgusting. Butcher.
Hook in, slowing sands, which prevents any extra lockdown. Lias moving in, gets a 2-man VP. Can they do something with this? No more putrefile. Pommy is arriving slowly, makes his way through. They get the first kill. Cocoon is already dropped. Zeratul getting focused down. Aegis keeping him alive for the meantime. Which
Butcher in the back line.
But Butcher's already there. Zeratul and Butcher trading damage. Vala picks up the kill though.
Vala picks up the kill, and unfortunately, Seeing's damage was not enough to take anyone out. Now, the saving grace for KT here is that they just unlocked the Web Weaver wave once again, so they're not going to have to bother about defending their forts and keeps, maybe. However, it all comes with a price, and the price KT has to pay here is, of course, the lack of pushing they can do themselves. So now all they can do is soak a little bit more, grab maybe a kill or two if there's someone getting caught isolated here. But Pommy on the Malfurion, he died so quickly. Did he actually use Ice Block, or was it too fast? Did he die too fast?
I don't think Malfurion used Ice Block, but yeah, I didn't see properly. I was focusing on the Zeratul as he went super deep into that and got Aegis. So yeah, if it did happen, I missed it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think he probably didn't use it. He took Isara's gift, by the way, at level 16, which is still a nice talent. Like, I don't really see a lot of the newly reworked Malfurion, so I'm always very eager on seeing what the pros are building him like. And Isara's gift, of course, gives you a stronger healing as long as Malfurion maintains a solid health amount of 75% or above.
Yeah, this is Zeratul's job to try and prevent that from being the case, but he's been having a little bit of trouble of actually doing the whole wrapping around and murdering people thing.
Exactly, so all the break abilities are ready, and I think with Hot's Lady sitting on a nice and solid bank of 117 gems, they're definitely going to want to commit to it. Like, they want to turn in right now, and they need to force a fight in the process. Look at those beetles zoning out Carlo. I'm pretty sure he would have loved to send a hook right into that choke point, but the beetles, not really a target you want to get. Yeah,
it's a noob being very good for the zoning. This fort, I think it might be the end of its life cycle as Vala moves forward, sends in a Q, and the fort is gone. You will be missed.
Here we go. Providing a little bit of distraction here. Vala taking huge damage by the Chromie Q. But of course, one heal by Pommy is enough to bring her back in good shape. Walking into the time trip now. That would be a good time for KT to engage.
They've landed the route, but they're not looking comfortable here.
Huge kill!
Is being forced very far back. Lias, picking up the kill, drops the VP as well onto the extra healer, so they're able to focus down Arthas. Greymane looking for Lias, not able to finish him off though, and the hook onto Fury. Good disengage for the extra range though from level 13, and they're able to pick up 3 kills. Hot Lady looking good.
Now they need to go for the boss. If they start with the turn-in first, they're not going to get the boss anymore because it disappears, and they do exactly that. Great shot calling here, good prioritization as well. They're going to have the boss, and with 95 gems still available, they can definitely get the turn-in now as well. I'm not really sure how many gems Zeratul has, if he could go for the turn-in already. But as it is, Hot's Lady's now in a commanding lead, killing 3 members at the same time. This time, great engaged by Zeratul. I was a little bit critical of his role in that game so far, but Lias definitely proved me wrong and convinced me.
Yes, he is doing a very good job when he needs it. Coming up clutch, if you will.
Yeah.
As the boss is taken, turn-in is achieved by Zeratul, and Hot's Lady, despite being behind this entire game, are now moving in, and they are going to get level 20 from these structures, so they could attempt a core here.
They could really. Like, if KT loses more team members right now, then they're definitely going to be in a spot where they have to worry about their core. But look at the level 20 talent by Chromie, by the way. She took Andorhal's something, but that basically allows her to cast 3 time traps, and that could actually stall and slow down the advance by Hot Lady tremendously.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to keep her a little bit safer from Zeratul as long as she puts them around herself a lot. So keep dropping down. Boss down to half health. Zeratul
VP
around. Looking for his opportunity. 2-man VP. Can they make the play? Carlo gets healed up. Why? Takes a little bit of damage. They're trying to focus the Arthurs instead, and they wipe him. Cocoon is dropped on Stitches. Immediately cleared up. Boss with half health. Webweave with half health. They are moving in. Divine Shield on Valor, letting the Strafe get all the value as they move onto the core. It's up. It's a 4 versus 5 defense.
Yeah, the 4 versus 5 defense, a little bit too much for KT to handle. The boss and the Web Weavers are hammering against the core in favor of Hot Lady, and together with combined efforts, they take the game home and lead 1-0. I gotta be honest with you, Tetra. For the most part of the game, I thought KT had this in the bag. They played so solidly, especially with the Chromie and the Anubrak engages. Everything looked smooth and sound, but at some point they just lost composure and they lost too many team members staggeringly.